Hi and welcome to Low Content Japanese Puzzle Resources. My name is Ron Pumfleet. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to customize or even create your own PowerPoint templates. Now what we're going to be concentrating on is how to add horizontal and vertical guidelines. This helps you make sure that your puzzles are aligned correctly within the template. And then we're going to have a look at how to add images to your PowerPoint templates to create niche specific puzzles. And then I'm going to show you how to save the PowerPoint templates with a niche extension so that you can actually hop back in there and create a different type of puzzle. And say you're doing Sudoku, maybe you want to do Sakako or Futoshiki, or whichever one you want to do. So you can just pull up that niche template and change a couple of things and you're away laughing. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the PowerPoint templates. Okay, so this is one of the templates. It's pre-made for Sudoku Puzzle Book Compiler 8511 PowerPoint template. So it's pretty generic. You can use this straight out of the box if you wish. The only thing is you'd have to probably spend a wee bit of time aligning your puzzles so they looked nice on the actual slides. So what I'm going to do is show you how to not only put the horizontal and vertical grid lines in there so you can actually see how your puzzles will look when they're actually presented or when they're created. This is also a template that I've created in the niche template 8511. At the moment I've set up for dental surgery, so I just went and got some images for those and just plonked them in into the template. Now I'll show you a little bit later in the video how to actually put those in there so that it doesn't actually interfere with the puzzles being presented on the page. Okay, so we're back in the first template because there's no grid lines horizontal or vertical apart from making your template into quarters. So what we're going to do straight away is we're going to come in here to the shapes, and we're going to select the rectangle. And the reason for this is we're actually going to put a horizontal and vertical lines so we know where the half-inch borders are. In previous templates I've actually left a blue border there, and I've had a lot of people doing a bit of complaining because they've had to remove them later. So I thought, well, how can I do this to make it better? So what we're going to do is, hang on, we're not in the right place yet. We want to go to size and position. Now we want to make this 1.27 because that's half inch. Then while we've got that there, we are going to come down to this vertical guide or horizontal guide, and we're going to add new. And we're going to take this up and we're going to put it right underneath where the half inch is for your border. And we're going to take this down and we're going to put it in the bottom here as well. And we're going to do another horizontal guide, and we're going to bring this down so it sits on top of that one. I want to be, there we go. And then we're going to turn this into a vertical. So now we want to add a vertical guide. And then we want to take this over here and we want to do another vertical guide. Right, now we can remove this. So now when you're working with this template, you can you'll just recognize that the one right on the outside is the border, and you don't want anything going out into there. So the next thing we want to do is bring the puzzle name down underneath that line, and then we're going to create ourselves another vertical line, or horizontal line I should say, and put it in underneath the puzzle. So we now know that we can stretch this puzzle part out so it actually aligns in the center. Then we're going to bring the numbering of the page. We're going to lower that down. And we're going to move it over closer to the border. Now that we've done that, we want to create another horizontal line and bring this down to just above the numbering, because now we know that we don't want anything to be below this line either, unless it's a copyright notice that sits in the middle. Okay, so that's basically how to start customizing your template. All we want to do now is we want to create lots of horizontal guides, and we want to space them out. Let's see now, where is this one? This is 11.8, so we want this one to be 10.8. All right. Then 11.6. So 10.6. Right, and just keep on going down, adding your horizontal lines with a 10 mil or 10 in between each number. I'm not going to sit here and let you watch paint dry. We're just going to come back with the template finished. Okay, so now we've finished putting in the horizontal and vertical grid lines. Now we've got to do some more adjustments for the 2 up template, 4 up, and a 6 up, and you'll see why in a moment. Okay, so now we're on to the second puzzle, or second page where it holds 2 puzzles, and you'll see that the 2 puzzle here is pretty close to that guideline that we put in. So what we're going to do is just bring that down a little bit, and we'll extend it out so when it gets printed it'll be perfect, absolutely aligned in the middle. Now we could play around with the bottom part here and bring these guidelines up to go underneath where the puzzle is, but what we're going to do instead is we're just going to add another vertical line, and we'll bring this down so it's in under puzzle 2. All right, so just remember that when you do add guidelines, they will actually start showing on all the slides, not just the one that you're actually customizing. So you've got to bear that in mind when we're actually working on this. So now we're here, and these ones need to come down just ever so slightly. You will be getting a copy of these templates, so if you're like me, sometimes you just want the goods, you don't want to muck around creating your own, then if you've actually purchased the puzzle book compiler, then you'll get these templates supplied to you. Now down the bottom here we'll see that the numbering is actually in the wrong rows. We'll bring that down, and for that matter let's go back and check number 2, and that's actually in the wrong place as well. So we'll bring that numbering down. Okay, so now we've got the 1 and 2 and 4 slides done. Now let's have a look at what we have to do for the 6. And here again we need to bring these down ever so slightly. Those, I think we'll actually leave those ones where they are. And we won't bother putting an extra line in here because just at the end of the day it starts looking a little bit confusing. So I'm actually going to take this line back out that I put in there. So that looks a lot better. So you'll see why we're setting up these grid lines and horizontal lines when it actually comes to printing out a puzzle book, because then you can actually go into the 1 up, 2 up, 4 up, 6 up and realign and reposition your images into the template. Okay, so like all good programmers, I'm going to click on save because I don't want to lose what I've just done. Okay, so the next thing we want to do, and this is only if you want to do niche specific puzzles, is we'll come back up to the top here, and this image here, we can either remove it, leave it there, do whatever you like with it. But what I'm going to do is I want to remove it, because now I want to turn this into a niche specific puzzle. So let's just go back and have a look at the one. And you'll see what I've done is I've actually added 2 images in here that has something to do with dentistry. I put in three lines instead of 1. Dental surgery, their address and their phone number. So if somebody decides to walk off and it gets passed around from person to person, then this gets some free advertising for that dental surgery. What I used to do in some of the other programs that I was in, I'd have actually had, instead of this puzzle book belongs to, I would have put this puzzle book as, this puzzle book has been stolen from, and then have the dentist surgery, and it just, you know, it's been, I got a warped sense of humor. Okay, so now when you're actually customizing this, you need to make sure that you get down to the bottom part here and change this copyright, because at the moment that's my copyright in there. You don't need to change this part, that's pretty generic. Then on the page where it has what is Sudoku, I've just added another image there, and I've pushed this solutions part over. In fact, let's just tidy this up. I like being a little bit more. Right, so we'll actually bring that up to, yeah, that'll do, 24. Okay, and then this is the solutions start next page. You can put another image in there if you like. I've already got an image there, so I haven't bothered. And then what I've actually done here, and this is on the 1 up, because there's a lot of complaints in the reviews on Amazon where people are saying, well, the books are really great, but there's hardly anywhere for them to actually scribble their workings when they're actually trying to solve the puzzle. So what I've done is I've actually, in the top 2/3, that's where my image is going to be displayed. In the bottom here, I've made this work area, and I've actually put little dotted lines in here, and they're of a very light grey shade. So it will get printed, but it's going to be so light that it won't interfere with the person's working out. And then I just put another image in here, and I'll show you how to, as I said, a little bit later, I'll teach you how to put these images in so they don't interfere with the puzzles being displayed. So again, there's the background of a tooth with his toothbrush, and then a happy face with you know, he's obviously been to the dentist and got cleared. And this one here is just I think it's actually the same one, but not quite elongated out. So you can change the images as much as you like. Okay, so here's the tip. When you're putting an image onto the page, actually let me stop the video. Okay, so when you actually first copy and paste an image into the slide, it's going to be the foremost object that's going to be on the page. And you can see that there is supposed to be puzzle 9 and 10 in behind. So if you left it like this, you're going to get an error caused in the software saying that something about puzzle is not in the shapes format. So what you want to do, and this is for all your images, when you've pasted it in there, just right click, go down to Format Object. That'll bring up this dialog box here. Go over to the image or to the picture, go down to picture transparency, go to transparency and just put an 8 in front of the 0. So it's 80%. We're not quite finished yet. So once we've done that, then we go up to Arrange and we'll send that picture, image or object, send it to back. Okay, so now when your images are printed onto the page, this will just be a shadow in the background, if you like. You still can see it, but it won't interfere with the puzzles being generated on there. Okay, so the only thing we need to do now is test the template. So I'll bring up the software and let's give it a whirl. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and navigated to the puzzle path to my puzzles and to my solutions. I've selected the dentist template, which is my niche template, and it's 8.5 by 11. So all I need to do now is click on Compile Puzzle, or Compile Puzzle Book, and this is the template with the software goes through and creates all the slides for the images first, and then it goes through and creates the slide for the solutions. And that's exactly just how quick it is. Now I've only done this with 30 images because I didn't want you sitting around watching paint dry. Okay, so there's my cover. There's my what is Sudoku all about. Okay, and this one I forgot to change this, or maybe I didn't save the template, which is probably true. And then in here, as you can see, with all the guidelines we put in here, we've managed to use the one-up sizing, and you get that message when your book is compiled. So when we go to the one-up sizing, these numbers here is what you use to change to make sure that your puzzle is aligned exactly where you want it. And there's my work area, there's my first image, and you'll notice that the template pages at the beginning here have all been removed and replaced with what we actually want in our puzzle book. So the solutions page is ended up being down here. All right, solutions start next page. Obviously 34, but if you're doing 120 puzzles, it would have been 124 as shown in the previous. And there's your 6-up. So you got that tooth in the background, and you got your puzzles actually being displayed on top, which is absolutely fantastic. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to save your PowerPoint template so that you can actually go in there and use the same theme that you've got already for a dentist. And the beauty of this is you may want to approach different dental surgeries and actually have their names printed in there with their address and their phone number. Send it up to Amazon KDP to be printed and order author copies, and then you can sell those off to your dentist. So that's the beauty of actually saving this as a template. You can put the next dental surgery and address and phone number in there. Okay, so you'll see up in the top menu here, I've got sudoku.dentist.8511. So we're not actually going to save this as this particular dental surgery, we can do. Once you've actually sold it to somebody, then you could actually go in there and save it as the dentist's name and whatever. You know, you've got to keep the, how do I say it? You've got to keep the extension format the same. So it has to be whatever, dot 8511. So if you sell this template to Dr. Jones, okay, so you can have put in here Sudoku Dentist Jones, for argument's sake. You may end up having more Dentist Jones, so you could actually put CJ Jones, okay, CJ Jones, and save that. So you know this is a template that's been created specifically for CJ Jones Dentist, because he may want to have instead of Sudoku next time, he might want Sukaku or whatever. You can talk to them about that. So you can actually save that in the dentist folder or under the Sudoku templates. I would save it under the dentist. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to go back to this, because this is our template for dentists, and we're just going to save it. I mean, I've already saved it, so there's no point me saving it again, apart from showing you that you can. But that's the whole essence of being able to save your PowerPoint templates with a specific formatting structure. So the next one could be Sudoku.doctor or Sudoku.lawyer or Sudoku.accountant or Sudoku. I don't know, policewoman, policeman. You know, go through all the different white collar jobs or blue collar jobs and just rename them. Or it could be Sudoku airline, you know, Qantas airline or whatever. You get the picture. Okay, thanks for watching. Thank you very much for watching and listening to me, and I hope you have a lot of fun. If you have any queries or you get lost somewhere, just get into the low content Japanese puzzle resources and fire off your question. Maybe somebody else in the group can answer it, but if you tag me, I will get there and answer any queries for you. So, my name's Ron Pumfleet. I'm out of here. Talk to you later. Bye for now.